I think it's really important, and I think you referred to it earlier, that going to university or going away to college is the first time for many of these people when they've been away from home. And it's a time when they form new opinions. It's a time when they're looking to understand the world in a different way. And so we feel it's really important. I think somebody earlier on a panel said we have to think both about the top-down influence that we can have a role in, but we've really got to try and make sure much of this comes bottom up. And that's why we've tried to make the students the catalyst for change in what we've been doing. So we've introduced a number of programs. We have, and I have to say that it's been driven very much by our association with HeForShe. It's really made us think hard, not just about gender-based violence, but about a range of different issues. So we now have programs called Standing Together Against Gender-Based Violence, Standing Together Against Bullying, Standing Together Against Hate. And these are all programs that all the students are engaged in. And in particular, around gender-based violence, we use the ideathons, and we have students who come up with a range of different exciting ideas that we might put in place. I'll give you just 4 very quickly. First of all, like some other universities, we've used art-based projects. So we've had theatre, and we use small mobile vans that go around our halls of residence, because we can put on theatre, but it doesn't always get to all the students. So they visit the students where they live. We have art exhibitions, quite raw art exhibitions, which really are quite moving. And we have other exhibitions, for example, around the myths about rape. So these are really quite difficult topics, but they've meant that people listen. People come and learn from these sorts of topics. The second area is, of course, we've produced some online training. But again, many universities have done that, but we've used our students. So the students have scripted this. It's their voices in the training, and in fact, it's their stories in the training. So people have come forward and given their stories about things that have happened. We've tried to think about, as in other universities, where are some of the areas we know there may be problems? And of course, sports clubs have traditionally been slightly macho in some of their attitudes. So now we have male sports people coming forward and being the champions for change, the students again being the champions for change in those sports clubs. And finally, we have a very practical solution, which is getting students trained as what we call club crews, and they go around the bars, the nightclubs, and they point out sexual violence, they go to students they think are in need, and they do a lot of work around those students. So we've had thousands of students now, well over 4,000 students involved in those ideathons, coming up with their own ideas, and critically, they are the catalyst for the change.